How does the blended family dad live valiantly? How does he? How does a guy do this? How does a man of this caliber do that? Hi, I'm Jesse, and this is the Valiant Lifestyle. And what I do on this channel is I get men the best information that they can have while supporting them the best way I know how. If this is your first time watching this video or watching any of my videos, welcome. You're in for a treat, and I'd like to offer you to subscribe here. It's just the quick flick of the bell notification. Click all, because what that does is it will send all notifications to you, and then you will become known. Well, you will know when all my videos are, any of my videos are available to you. All right, so on this subject, how does a blended family dad live valiantly? Well, let me tell you this. Is there a silver bullet to this? The answer is no. However, the more you do this, the more practice you get to do this, the better you become. And from a guy in a blended family, a dad in a blended family, a spouse in a blended family, you're not going to get it right every time. But let's just go over this word valiant for a moment. What does that even mean? See, valiant means being courageous, having the courage to do something. And courage is fear becoming known. So with that in mind, my man, every day that you spend doing something that feels like it's intense and you're not quite sure how to deal with it, or you're faced with a decision that affects the rest of your family, just know that there are many men out there that come across these things, and you're not alone on a daily, on a regular, like myself. So what do I mean by being valiant? It could be as little or as big as this. It could be that you realize as a man within your family that your family is heading in a direction that is slightly off course, and as you keep going, it is going to it's going to result in the direction of your family being way off course, like way off the target, the intention of where you're leading them in the first place. And it might mean that you have to jump in and make some changes, make some decisions, and to do something that is out of the ordinary, and it's an act of courage. What does all that mean, Jesse? Like, boil that down for me. Look, my man, every day that I spend within my family, with my two girls and my wife, there are things that I do, there are decisions that I make that affect them. And what I get to see in those moments are their emotions, their own programs, their own behaviors, getting used to some of the decisions or the things that I've said. And they're just learning how to regulate their nervous system. They're learning how to deal with all of that. And when you're with a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old, you realize that some of the things they bear witness to for the very first time. And as an adult, it's old hat, but it's up to me to support them through that. Living valiantly means living for, well, it is living true to you, true to your essence, true to what you believe is the absolute best for you. Like, whatever that spiritually is for you, however that shows up for you. But you get to forge your own template on what that looks like. It means your morning routine, It means the way you conduct yourself, because your family is watching your every move. And if you don't believe me, their subconscious is. And they're watching those moves, and they're comparing them against their own to know what they got to put out into the world. Being courageous might mean that someone like myself, I've got to make a decision on, like, let's talk about Christmas trees. I mean, we had a Christmas tree that was absolutely beautiful. It was fragrant. It was a real tree this year. It was a Fraser fir, and it smelt wonderful when you come into the house. The problem was there was something wrong with the tree, and it wasn't uptaking water. And as a result, it was starting to disintegrate. It was starting to die. It wasn't losing all of its needles, but it was a tough decision. It was a tough decision. Do we go out and get another Christmas tree, or do we find a way or dig out the artificial one that we have in the basement that would be just fine anyway? And the reality of it was that when I made the decision on behalf of my wife and I to put the real one outside, I mean, it was a moment. It was a moment for us, because I mean, Christmas is big feelings, right? And within the tree that the kids, my wife and I selected, the decision we made to get that tree that I made, it felt like a good one. So I was getting used to my own feelings of it not being the best tree, even though I thought it was. And the courageous act of dismantling everything mid-Christmas and going downstairs, getting the artificial tree, and then doing that again. And that's notwithstanding having taken it down, taken all the ornaments off, cut it again at the stem to see if it would draw more water or take any water, and after it didn't. So sometimes as men, we've got to make these decisions. And you might say, and you might be laughing, well, that doesn't sound like a really big decision. It is, when it infers your family and how they feel about what affects them. And Christmas is a big one. That is a big decision. It was a big decision to me. Another one is, for me, on the financial side, when it comes down to getting new tires for the season, winter tires, summer tires. It's a big investment. So when do you decide is the best time to do that? I know when to do that, but it came down to, for me, 2 new tires, what I thought would be 2 new tires. And as a former safety guy, I go, I need 4. I need 4 because the other two aren't looking that great as well. And it was a larger investment for me. But when I think about what I do, I transport my family. We travel, my 2 girls and my wife, myself. I want something that is reliable. I want to make sure that the tires are the best. So without any hiccups or thinking of what could go wrong because I don't feel good and don't feel confident with the ones that I was running. Other ones are courageous ones where you are foraging paths in your relationship or your marriage, and you really haven't discussed some of the things that you want to discuss, that you want to discuss before. There's no path there. You have not gone into it. So you've got to make a decision to have a discussion with your wife about some of the big things in life, like, for instance, moving, buying a new vehicle, finances, the relationship in itself, and things within it that are uncomfortable for you. Those are things that require an act of courage. But let me tell you this. All of those things that I've listed that are all moments, every time you do one, you gain further confidence in yourself to be able to do it and act courageously. You're a trailblazer. You're a trendsetter. You're a wayfinder. And you're going to find out real quick that when you do stuff like this, you mount evidence. You show yourself evidence of what you can do. And it's absolutely amazing the feeling that you get after you have been able to forge something within yourself, to ask or discuss something with your spouse, your significant other, your wife, or your kids. You found a way to mend something, to include both of them in activities where they would not likely be both included, or even things that you felt were awkward. You can find ways to do it. Now, sometimes you're going to take some flack. Get used to it, because this is something as a man that you're going to come up against. And what it does is, when you think of it like the experience is giving me something greater. It is helping me grow. It is helping me develop patience, resilience, and understanding to be a better man. So, what do I have for you in all this? There is no magic bullet. But the more you do it, the more you practice, the more you take the act of courage and be valiant with your choices and your word, the better at it you get, the more confident you get within yourself, and the more respect you show yourself, and others will show that to you. And if this sounds like your jam, I would love to talk to you. How do you do that? Go to thevaliantlifestyle.com, book your 30-minute discovery call, and then we can get after it. We can talk about how you feel it would be best to approach your life more valiantly. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching. Let's do this.